welcome back to the podcast. We in here. Week number 9 is over. We are now embarking onto double-digit weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Which means Thanksgiving's getting close. So, get excited.
Always am.
Gobble, gobble.
Jake, welcome back. Sorry it didn't work out for the Phillies. You guys beat the Texans, though. That's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Great.
Good stuff.
I'll tell you, the week was kind of like, right? Nothing too crazy. I mean, a couple people went off. 2 weeks ago, those running backs were wild. The top 5, you had to put up like 30 points and make the top 5. This week wasn't, back to normal, I guess.
For some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we get into this week's pick'ems, how did we do last week, Lau?
Oh, boys. Do I have some news for you?
Oh, brother.
I got 5 out of 6 correct.
Wow.
Jose also got 5 out of 6 correct.
Oh! Hold on.
And Jake, all 6 correct.
Holy shit.
Heck of a
Dang.
week for us, boys. Heck of a week for us.
Heck
All
of a
right,
week.
I take it back. This week was great.
Good news, that puts us all above 500 now as well, so it's like we kind of know what we're doing. Jose, 28 correct, 26 incorrect, 519. I'm at 31 correct, 23 incorrect, 574. Jake's still the top of the mountain. I'm sure 6 out of 6 helps here. 34 correct, 20 incorrect, 630 average. Nicely
How
done.
many correct does he have?
34.
That's good. I mean, he only gained a game on us, Lau.
That's true.
So, we're fighting
However,
hard.
he's still 6 ahead of you and 3
We
ahead
got
of
to
me.
earn them. We're making them earn them.
That's true.
We're making them earn them. All right. Listen, let's jump into this week's pick'ems.
Let's do it.
All right, pick 'em time. Here we go. Y'all know the drill. If you don't by 10 weeks, something wrong with you, or you need to listen to the podcast more. Here we go. First matchup, myself playing Adam. We'll start with Jose. Who you got, bud?
This one was the hardest matchup for me to pick one for this week. I went with Loud. That was a coin flip, truthfully. Like, I think anybody could win.
Why you go 5 for 6?
Woo! Jake, who you got, bud?
He's a sneaky good team, 6-3. I got Adam. I mean, it's matchup wise, well, but got to break the tie there. So I go Adam.
Alrighty. I'm picking myself, because why not? Doesn't seem to matter for wins or losses. I don't think I jinxed myself or helped myself, so I'm going with me. This is also Lamar Jackson's bye week, and Justin Fields is coming off of a huge game where he's now playing Detroit, who has the worst defense in the league. So I'm not expecting the same result, but I'm hoping for a good result there. And that is that. Next matchup, also featuring one of our podcast brothers. AJ is playing Jake. I'll start with myself this time. I am picking Jake. AJ's doing a lot of bottom dwelling, and unfortunately, I think it's going to be the same again this week. Jose, who you got?
I'm picking Jake. Listen, I he's doing a good representation as being our league power bottom. He's been that for a couple weeks now. You wouldn't believe it because you don't hear from him anymore. That's how power bottom he is. So I got Jake on this one.
Is it because he's facing downward? That's why we can't hear him?
I don't know. Listen, when I was the power bottom, I at least would engage him with people. But he's just not embracing it. You got to embrace it.
True.
That's true. That's true. And Jake, talk your talk.
I'm going to go for myself as well. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, just love it. I mean, I've been like win one, lose one, win one, lose one. I got to get back in the win column, 2 consecutive here, so I'll take myself. I like my team every week a little bit more. I think I rolled out the same lineup probably consistently amongst everyone this season. I don't think I've switched.
That's not true.
I've had Cooper Kupp and
That's not true.
Goddard.
You didn't start the season with Kenneth Walker and Enzo Benjamin as your running backs.
Okay,
that's
my
true.
Quarterback never changed. Never changed.
Okay.
I had Kirk in there. I had the same tight end. I changed my kicker and my 2 running backs. That's it.
Yeah, same with me. Same thing.
I made trades though. I haven't like even picked up. I've literally rolled. Like I go and like I've only made changes when there's a bye week, essentially. And like
I get what you're saying. You've kept the same core
I looked
roster.
at it. Like,
Listen, AJ's kept the same lineup too. He's rolling out the same lineup.
Yeah, that's all. I just feel like my team's been the most consistently not.
So this is the draft day lineup versus the draft day lineup. I'm still picking Jake.
Oh, there you go. Oh man, nicely done. Nicely done. All right, next matchup: Ronnie against Yo Daddy Papo. Jake, we'll start with you. Who you got,
Let's
buddy?
see. We got yeah, I'm gonna go with my dad. I mean, come on. I like how Dad he likes to disguise his Hill and Waddle. Once in a while, he'll flex one of them, but they're always there. Yeah,
That's
like the
true.
old Tennessee of combination Mariota and Henry in 2022 is just amazing. It's funny. He's been a QB1 for him most of the season, so yeah, he'll ride the strength of that alone.
Yeah. I'm taking your dad as well. He still somehow is just crushing everybody with the Dolphins receiver combo, which is still nuts to me and will be nuts to me week 14 and in the playoffs when it's still happening. But he's looking good. Ronnie's still really hurting at running back, so I'm going with Papo. Jose, on to you. What do you got?
Papo being in second place goes to show that nobody knows shit about fantasy football. Because my man, put it this way. How good is Papo's team? How good is it, right? Papo's team is so good. How good is it? Papo's team is so good that he can start Marcus Mariota every single week and disguise him and hide him behind 2 Dolphin receivers and Derrick Henry week after week. It doesn't matter who he starts. Irrelevant. Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Malik Willis. He can put anybody he wants out there. Literally. Doesn't matter. They have to get 7 points. Doesn't matter.
That's true. That's
It's
true.
wild. Papo,
Yeah.
by the way. I think it's going to win.
Yeah, I figured that's who you're going with.
Sorry, Ron.
All good, all good. Listen, we're professional analysts here. There's no hatred, you know. Speaking of hatred, let's see what we got in this matchup. Jose is playing Charles. I'll start first. I think this one might have actually been the closest to call.
I
I don't know if
appreciate
that's
that.
a little bias away from my own matchup or what, although I think that was going to be really close as well. I'm going to go with Charles, though. I think he is going to get a slight edge with Eckler coming back. I think that's just going to be the one little bit of factor. Everything else is going to be super tight. Roll it over to Jake.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Charles as well. Eckler has come alive. And Tua is playing out of his mind. And I think for that alone, like if he rides with that, he can offset some high points from the other side maybe or match it. So, I mean, it's close as well, but I'm going to give the edge to Charles.
I was going to select Charles, but based on the pick'em separation, I guess I'll go 4-2 this week, possibly. I'm risking a perfect score here just to get the separation. Listen, here's the thing. If I was going against the three-headed juggernaut monster running back core of Josh Jacobs, Joe Mixon, and Eckler, I'd be like, fuck. But
yeah,
only having to go against two running backs instead of three gives you a fighting chance. Mixon ain't going to put up 55 this week. So,
well, yeah, he's going to put up 0. He's on bye.
Two is one hit away. It can happen. It can happen.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be real close. Definitely going to be real close. And pretty sure the projections are showing it close as well. But not as close as this projection coming up here. Tom is playing Jeffrey. Jose, I will go back to you to start this one off.
Listen, if my projections come true this week, this would be the first 4-week sweep for the Serranos. Because I'm actually going to take Jeff.
All right. Jake, will you be taking your brother as well?
Yeah, it's close. I think even whether Josh Allen plays or not, I like Jeffrey's team this week. I see some holes I'm not going to announce, little things here and there. But, this could be either way. I don't have a really defining answer, but for the
I was the same way, but I had to pick
what
one.
it is that we do week to week. I'm going to pick Jeffrey. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
2 in for Jeff. I'm bucking the trend here. I was a little on the fence, but again, we get a little parity in our picks. I'm going with Tom. I think there's a super close matchup. I think Josh Allen is going to play because they're playing the Vikings. It's a big game. I think he'll tough it out type of deal. If he doesn't, that might change things, but I'm going to go with things as they are right now. I think Tom's going to edge it out here. I think Jeff's been relying on a lot of running back play, and I think Kareem Hunt is starting to get less and less touches, and he's flexing them at the moment. So I think that might be one of the deciding factors there.
Okay.
That leads us to our final match. Brian against Mike. Jake, that's your boy. Jose, that's your boy. I'll go first on this one. I think Mike is going to win this one. He's heavily favored if you look at the projections.
Projections don't matter.
I know, but Mike's been on a bit of
don't mean shit. I don't know which shirt I'm going to make, but I'm making one of them.
Mike's been on a bit of a tear lately, and it's looking like he's at full strength. I don't think he has much getting affected to him by weeks or injuries or anything. So I think it's going to be Mike. Jose, who you got?
Hold on before I tell you my pick. Jake, you're picking Mike, or are you picking B Rich?
I guess we'll skip here. Listen, I'm the guy who rooted for the Lions to go 0-16. I dwell in people's demise. I love it. I'm a fan of records regardless. So between these two in particular, I just like to see the team that's failing to keep failing. Why not? Mike's team is bought, not built. And I made the trade with him that he proposed. I think yesterday or 2 days ago. He would have traded 3 more players away from his team and only received 1. He's Jerry Jones, just a little more likable, and I don't.
That would be George Steinbrenner.
I don't care for this matchup. I won't pay attention to this matchup.
My question is this: what time do you think the matchup will be over?
This matchup, let's see. If they've got a Monday night game, Jalen Hurts will be the deciding factor on Monday night. Brian's quarterback, Jalen Hurts, 34.5 points, against the Washington Commanders. Brian takes the win because it doesn't hurt me at all.
Yuck! Whoa! Oh man, he switched
in the standings. I call that a switch up, boys. Team Brian, let's go.
All right, switcheroo. Okay, well, I think Monday night's just going to be the formalities. Hey, B-Rich, soften him up, all right? I got him in 2 weeks. Soften him up for me.
Oh, jeez.
Put a kink in his armor, will you? Bottom 6, brother.
Oh, boy. So who you got, Jose?
I got Mike, but I want B-Rich to fucking humble this man.
What do you want then?
Well, I thought you were going to pick Mike, and I was going to be like, well, let's pick a time. When do you think it's going to be over? 1:30, 2:15, 3 o'clock? Like,
nope.
Savage. All right, boys. Picks are locked in. It's looking a lot different than last week, so that should sway our standing some, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, I guess that was intense. That was intense for a pick'em segment.
I like it.
Jake, I missed you.
Well,
I know.
We're done by 10. So where were we?
We are jumping into this week's highs and lows.
Highs and lows. $69. Yin yang. All right.
Yeah,
So we're going to start off with quarterback highs today. And I will start off with the quarterback that had the high because my highs and lows are the obvious highs and lows. Tua Tagovailoa is crazy.
I see you listened last week. That's how I said it.
I don't know how to say that man's name. I hate people who
you said it right.
people say his name and Greek freak in basketball. Giannis, I wouldn't know too. People say their full names only because they know how to say it. Like I don't call.
No, because they're paid. They're paid on TV to say
people
it.
In like real life. Like if we're talking about LeBron, I'm not.
Oh, they're bragging.
It's LeBron. It's Steph. It's
LeBron.
Morant. You say one name, the first or last. Luckily, Giannis, there's probably no other one, so you don't have to say it. But they still throw in the Amatukuko.
Yeah, because they're showing like one-uppers. Like if I meet you in the wild and I don't know you and you just mention his name in full, I'm like, yo, back off. You're a tool bag. Like you nobody needs to say that all in public like that.
I say all that to say,
or they just respect culture and people's names and stuff like that.
No, stop. Yeah, whatever. They wore N1 shorts growing up.
Yeah, I'm part of Tuanon and Tuanon riding strong and.
Listen, man, I don't go calling you Josie just because I like to say it that way better.
You don't think no one's called me fucking Josie before?
Tua, hi.
Yeah, because they're not respecting culture.
Yeah. Tua, high, 30-something points. He belongs here. He's playing ever since he got his blood transfused with that of a beast. He's out of his mind. Another 30-point performance. He's become the quarterback I did not expect. You listen to week 1. I had no idea he was going to go out like this. And
I remember
so
sitting bullshitting people before the draft, and we're like, "Do you think Derek Carr is going to be a better player this year or Tua?" Because Derek Carr just got Devontae Adams and Tua just got Tyreek Hill, and I don't think both of these players know how to drive the car. And all of a sudden, Tua's like, "Oh, pump the brakes."
Tua knows.
Derek Carr is still trying to get his driver's license. Tua's flying around the track.
Shows you how much a coach can make a difference sometimes. You know?
He's on the hot seat, I heard.
Has to. No, McDaniels.
McDaniels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I guess the Dolphins, they fired that whole Firegate for fucking whatever his name was. Just didn't make it work. That's all. All right, who's next? High quarterbacks.
Yeah. I'll go. I'm shouting out a guy that did fairly high. Quarterback numbers are a little lower this week in general than last week, but someone who's still been a big surprise, still keeping it going. Geno Smith, 24.8. My man is killing it. He's making the Broncos look real stupid for paying out a lot of money. And
Geno the Bambino.
And he is also 7th overall for quarterbacks this year in fantasy.
Honestly, I think the Broncos are like a Geno Smith away from being good. That's just me personally, though. I think there's like if they had like a Geno Smith, they'd be such a different team. Every year they're one player away. They're one player away for like 15 straight years. They've been one player away, and that player was Geno. Who would have thought? The first place Seahawks.
Crazy. Wild.
Yeah. Hold on. I don't know if you guys heard you talking, but
quarterback.
Listen, here's the thing. Justin Fields. Okay. 123 over the air and 3 touchdowns. If you had a quarterback go for 123 and 3 touchdowns, you'd be pumped for the week. But then you add in 178 yards with his legs and an additional touchdown. Was crazy. Resulted to 48.6 points. You look at the quarterbacks that were drafted in that class. Entering week 10 of this season, you have to say it's Justin Fields, right? Over all the other quarterbacks drafted ahead of him, or even in that class. I don't know them all by heart, but I believe it was Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and I think somebody from the Steelers, I believe.
Pickett.
Nah, Pickett was this year. Maybe I'm messing that up. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, who do you think?
Was Trey Lance in that one too?
Trey Lance is in that one too. So, Trevor Lawrence, I think up until this moment, you're like, yo, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback. He's just having an unfortunate thing, but he still understands how to play football. It's Trevor Lawrence. I think Justin Fields gives a run for his money.
I normally don't like.
Now it's 1 week, but still.
I don't like Ohio State quarterbacks normally. They just don't normally translate, so I have it burned in my head. I'm just never a fan. The hype of an Ohio State quarterback when they go pro, it's the same every time, and no one's from Ohio State. This team that finds its way to be top 4 every year, they never have an NFL ready quarterback, right? They've always fallen flat, and Justin Fields is the reason why they make the quarterbacks run 40s in the combine. He's still a runner, and I think he threw 3 touchdowns the week before, and then there was over unders of 15 completions or pass attempts because he doesn't pass it enough. So I think he's coming into his own now. I mean, he's kind of building a character out of this now, but I mean, he's gotten better. I'll give him that. As far as I'll say. But
it's got to be great for the. Listen, if you're a Bears fan, you're pumped because I mean, it could be Mitchell Trubisky or this, or Andy Dalton or this. You're like, I'll take this. Give me this. I bet you the Patriots rather have Justin Fields.
Well, they played 2.
I bet you the Jets rather have Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence still, I think, is probably going to end up being a better quarterback.
2 stat lines, and it said, which quarterback would you rather have? And they showed the 2 stat lines without the name, and they said, okay, if you chose this one who had 41 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, it was Gardner Minshew, and the other one was Trevor Lawrence. And it's this is what they have, and this is what they gave up to get this. Like the better quarterback
Yeah.
was Gardner Minshew, weirdly enough. But yeah, I mean it's something to think about for sure. Moving on to the next position, we have our highs and lows for running backs. I will start off running back again, and we will keep it that way until we get to receivers, and this is all over. Running back. I'm back, bitches. The third iteration of this name, it's Kenneth Walker the third. He's making his dad proud, and he's making his grandpa proud. He's great. He's doing things now. He's getting 2 rushing touchdowns a week to make me happy. He's rushing for 107 yards 1 week to make me happy. He's the high. Keep the bias out of it. I can't name another Michigan State running back in my entire life, but damn, is this one good. 2 touchdowns, 27 points on a roll. Kenneth Walker the third. Shorts.
Your boy. Jose, who is yours?
I humbly chose Travis Etienne.
Oh, humbly?
Yeah, 109 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 26.6 points. I think he's over 20 points for second week in a row. Last week he was at 156 yards, which was a career high. This week he's putting multi-touchdown game. So, Clemson product, for whatever that's worth. I remember talking about colleges today on the podcast.
Clemson.
Clemson product. So, yeah. I listen. And if you look at all the running backs this week, I think he was in the top 3, top 4. So,
Yeah.
Alrighty. My turn. Running backs. I don't know which college this guy went to. Who cares? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm right here. This has to be the highest score period this season. I'll read the stat line. 22 carries, 153 yards, 4 touchdowns, on top of 4 catches for 58 yards and another touchdown. Joe Mixon had 55.1
I believe he went to Oklahoma
points.
or some shit, but carry on.
I'm pretty sure there's teams that had 80 this season for us for fantasy. Teams.
I think Jake's right. I think he went to Oklahoma. If we're talking about his college years, he messed up in the draft because he had a domestic violence.
Punched a woman in the
he
Wendy's.
slid down the draft.
Just call it what it is.
Oh, yeah. So he's a woman beater, and he paid what? You said call it what it was. That's just like
yeah. Fuck that 55. Wow, how do you support that?
Yeah, I can't condone that shit.
Listen, I don't support him. He's a Bengal. I hate him by default.
No, 55 was crazy.
No,
he had
listen,
but that's an absurd amount of points.
Touchdowns at half, I believe. That means he caught one and ran for another one in the second half. Like, what?
Listen, he's uber talented.
That was so sick.
Oh, it's crazy. Did you see like the memes of people saying like it was like I had Joe Mixon on my team and I lost?
Oof.
Like, did people like? Did you hear like those stories going around like on Twitter and stuff, Jake? I don't know if you saw.
I think
that.
only AJ. I think
That's
only
rough.
AJ could pull that off because he averages like 90 points. So he was.
I gotta go back and see if our cousin lost in the
Yeah.
league too. I think he had Joe Mixon and lost.
I tell you what. I tell you who didn't lose with Joe Mixon. Charles. He won by 101.1 points.
Yeah, no, listen, he did. He put up a lot of points. I mean, Charles 2 weeks ago was like, "Boo hoo, fantasy sucks." Ew, boo boo, shaboo. and now this, he's like, all of a sudden he's back in Snapchat, 55 points, crazy.
Wild.
So now we get to talk about the
Amen.
flip side of it, which is just as fun. The low for the running backs.
No, we're still gonna go highs for receivers.
Oh, my bad.
As you literally called out.
Oh,
2
yeah, so
minutes
now
ago.
we're going on to high receivers. So we're going to get on to my high of the week is the Joe Mixon version of the receiver core this week, Devontae Adams. I think he had 1.2 points last week, and he ended up with 36. The flip side is that I think he had 36 at half. So he cooled off.
31. He had 30. He had 31 at the half.
Cooled off, but, like, again, for halftime, like, he was just going off. Like, Red Zone was just keep putting him on. And he was like, that's no
Yeah.
replay.
Again.
This is like this is the 5th different drive where he's catching 5 catches. Like, yeah, I mean, he's still, top receiver, one of the top receivers. And, did they win? They had to win, right?
They lost.
No,
to the
they
Jags.
lost.
Oh, see, yeah, you're out of here, buddy. I think they blew,
That's what I'm saying.
3 17-point leads this year so far. That's a lot.
I think he had like 20 points in the first 4 minutes. He had 31 points. No, he did. No, I'm telling you, he had 20 points in the first 4 minutes. He had 31 points at the half.
Crazy.
And he finished with 36.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here complaining and nitpicking on somebody who had 36 points. I just want that to be clear.
No, he's a monster. His team just is unfortunate, but he's a monster. He proved he's still a monster, and it's amazing. I think, same way the Broncos are a quarterback away of Geno, the Packers are a receiver away from being good too. They could definitely. Adams is a shame, but I don't care actually about it at all. So. You'll find out later. And that's it. That's my high. Next.
All right. I'll go next. I'm picking the guy who was second for the week. Still, again. Tyreek Hill, 27.3. The man doesn't stop. He just keeps getting up there.
Did he score touchdowns this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, he has 3 on the
cracked
season.
The code on him. He used to run like crazy streaks because he had speed and Mahomes has a cannon. But watching the last 2 weeks, me and my buddy were watching games and we kind of broke it down. He runs a hell of a lot of cross routes. Because Tua doesn't have the Mahomes arm. So now we're seeing Hill run 5 yards and then post for 10, catch it, and then do all the yards.
He covers the same amount of ground. He just gets the ball earlier.
The ball short, and he'll make something of it. And it's and you can't stop it because he's literally the fastest person in the world.
He did that a lot. He did that a lot in KC too. You just didn't realize as much because Mahomes
getting
is bombing some
open
of them.
different ways, and Chiefs are fun to watch. But I'm sure they ran down the streaks in practice, and Tua was like, "All right, buddy, we got to work on something else. Can't get you. I'm throwing 60 yards, but you're running 75. It's not going to work out." So now he just runs literally a little bit past the line of scrimmage, catches it, spins off him, gone, peace sign, deuces. But yeah.
Also, honorable mention, Jalen Waddle was 7th this week for receivers.
And he's
listen, here's who I chose for my highlights for the week.
Crazy.
He posted up a modest 7 catches for 115 yards with a touchdown. And if you got that every week, you'd be excited because that equals 25 points. So, the reason we're not saying, oh, that was nuts or that was crazy is you expect more from Justin Jefferson. And that's not his fault. He was 7 for 115 and a touchdown. 25 points.
That's it.
That's big work, hey?
So.
That's it, man.
All right. That's our highs. Back around to the lows. QB.
Whoa.
Oh, I was going to say, can I actually start with my receiver? Because it kind of goes in tandem.
Oh, you want to go inverse?
Yeah.
All right.
So we just finished my high of Justin Jefferson. My low was Van Jefferson because Van Jefferson had a 0.
He did.
He goose egged. And that was in a flex position. Normally, I wouldn't bring up a goose egg if it was just on somebody's bench and they just were just stashing somebody. When you start somebody who I think goose egged last week too,
that's trouble.
So Van Jefferson, congratulations. You are not Justin Jefferson. Analytics.
Damn. I mean, we're doing receiver lows. Yeah, I picked Duvernay of the Ravens. I don't need the whole story behind it. 1 yard, 5 catches. I believe all his targets went out, so it's you're the number one target. Probably got shut down after that. You just got to do better. Sorry, bud. Your name is Duvernay. You sound like
he's your do better player of the week.
I was surprised though. I thought Duvernay was going to have a much
better game. Mark Andrews was out, and what's his name was out. I was like, no. He was as soft as his last name sounds.
It sounds French, right?
Yeah, that's how you play, like a soft French croissant.
Hey, Lau, I have a question. Speaking of
What's
the
up?
Ravens receivers, who's the other French receiver they have? I thought they had one. They have Duvernay, a Beignet, and they have another one,
I'm sorry.
Pierre. They have two French last name receivers. I heard it.
His name is James Prochet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jake. Come on, get the Frenchies off the team.
Boom.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. He's from that famous French city of Dallas, Texas.
Soft.
Yeah, he's a croissant. Okay, next.
Yeah, Duvernay. You got the little
Oh
bit of
man.
lead.
All right, that's your low, Jose. Did your low?
Mhm.
Mine is one that we kind of weren't sure if he was going to be a high or a low or something in the middle. You didn't really expect too much because he went to a new team. Chase Claypool went over to Chicago, where people are saying he's going to do big things. Justin Fields put up 1 million points. Mr. Claypool only put up 2.7.
Yeah, Claypool definitely got a lot of stars this week. I'm sure.
Yeah. But, he might be getting into the flow of things.
I
Maybe
think
he'll
if
get
you
more
started Claypool
targets.
this week, I think you probably had to start Claypool this week.
Yeah.
I think Claypool going to the Bears is more like a better football move than it is a fantasy move.
Mm-hmm.
But or dynasty wise, maybe like in a dynasty setup, like Claypool going there is good. If anything, it helps Justin Fields.
So I'm saying he has no receivers.
Yes, sir. For 1 week.
But
Yeah.
All
So
right, let's go.
I'm not surprised.
Backwards, we'll go running backs.
There you go.
Running backs, I picked A.J. Dillon. He stinks. He has that's deep analysis. I believe he had 20 points the first week, and it threw everyone through a loop of like, is he the RB1 for the pack? He hasn't. He's gone now 9 straight weeks or 8 straight weeks rather
of under double digit, right?
Yeah. And this man has been drafted high, I'm sure, in every league, even though ours is the only one that matters.
5th round.
He's been starting in every league.
100%.
Besides the
quads are the size of my
mini fridge.
chest.
Yeah, it's sick. I never understood why he was drafted so high. Like he wasn't like Aaron Jones hasn't been in the league that long to like draft a replacement. Like the Packers are dumb for that. And then he's not even doing anything. He's single digiting out and he stinks. And you get the low that week when you do that.
I'll tell you what was crazy. Well, not crazy, but what was remarkable about A.J. Dillon this week is Aaron Jones went out with an injury, I think, at the half.
That whole team did, but yes.
Yeah, but specifically him and his sombrero. He went out at the half.
Yeah.
And
no, I get what you're saying. You expect him to pick it up.
Well, not even that. Like, show up. Like, do it. Like, this is your chance. Like, you've been held back. You're in the shadows. Go.
Stinks.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you guys think?
Oh, man.
Ronnie, if you want to be a guest on the podcast and say how much A.J. Dillon sinks, you go ahead. You're more than welcome, my friend.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
No, listen, sometimes you got to let it out. Trust me. I got players that I want to call pitch. Stinks.
Oh, we've heard that one before.
Oh, God.
Speaking of stinking, who's your running back for this week?
But don't you feel better when you say it publicly how much they stink?
Saying my first 2 running backs I selected in the draft have stunk since week 1. So I know.
So I chose somebody who had 7 opportunities to run the ball and only gathered 23 yards, 4.1 points, was a running back darling 3 weeks ago, but has now posted 2 weeks. That is Deontay Foreman.
What'd you call him?
Deontay Foreman?
DeAndre. I guess it froze. I was like, what?
No, DeAndre Jordan. I think he's a retired basketball player.
It's true. Yeah, no, he, yeah. Wasn't there a, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Similar vein, I picked another guy who was a bit of a darling for a few weeks. Just didn't get much production this week, mainly because of his quarterback and not because of his rushing ability or anything.
He's the backup, Lau.
Didn't stop his team owner from getting a win. Khalil Herbert, 2.3 points. And yeah, like you said, I mean, he's a second guy, but
he's the second guy, and his quarterback rushed for 178 yards.
Most ever.
Yeah.
So, Khalil Herbert, he's going to have to do better.
Hey, love that.
I think he runs the ball better than David Montgomery. Like, if you really watch the games, like, he does more with less.
Yeah.
So I just like to see
the Bears mantra. They let us think that Darryl Mooney was a wide receiver 1 for the last 3 years. Like, they fooled us.
He is good though. I love Darryl. I love Mooney.
Stop it.
I do. No, have you seen him have you seen any of his training
videos?
Give
a second round pick for Claypool and let you know that you're really trying to get a receiver in that room. No, I don't watch those goddamn training videos on Mooney.
Mooney. I think Mooney's a better receiver than Claypool.
Okay, well that's your bold. That's your bold prediction for the rest of the careers.
He hasn't shown it. Yeah.
When Mooney's out of the league.
Speaking of bold predictions,
we're not there yet.
1, bold predictions, and 2, a name tie-in. I'm going to jump right to my QB low because his last name is also Herbert.
Look at that.
Okay,
Justin Herbert, 14 points. And as I boldly predicted, had less points than Derek Carr in his matchup.
Bravo.
Who you guys got?
I just want to mention that we didn't pick the goose egg Hines, so we were being respectful. He had a 0, and that's.
I thought about doing that.
I missed it. I chose 4.1. If there was somebody lower, I might switch mine out for Hines.
I already shit on Dylan long enough. It'd be a shame to also talk about Hines' goose egg.
Oh yeah, no, that's not.
No,
we
don't do that here. We're too nice. So my quarterback low is on the same team and the same turf that fucks everybody up over there in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, 3 interceptions against what Loud stated earlier in the podcast, against the worst defense in the league. Aaron Rodgers. Man, that sucked. That stinks. It's a division game.
I just don't understand.
Division, like the Jets and the Buffalo game, like division games are more, you play harder. But god damn, he's beaten the Lions for fucking 20 years. He's like, this is the worst he's ever looked, obviously. And we know, receivers, know this, and everyone's complaining about the turf and they're not landing properly. I think Aaron Jones walked in a boot. Someone else walked in 2 boots, and someone walked out with 2 boots and a crutches. Like, the whole team is just miserable, and Rodgers is the captain.
I am confident in saying this. I am confident. If they traded for Devontae Adams and brought him back, I still think they're trash. I think they're not a receiver away from being good,
but they're a receiver away from that comfortability of getting check downs and.
Okay, but they're not losing games 12-0. No. Their defense is terrible.
They scored, I think, 8 points.
They're a receiver away. They're a receiver away from Aaron Rodgers being less of a miserable prick, and therefore getting team morale up. So then getting a winning. That's
what I'm saying. He is throwing the ball with this. You look at his face when he's throwing. He's like he's doing a hump down. He's who cares?
He's that guy that's counting down his retirement days and just putting in bare minimum.
1 foot in, 1 foot out, man. Never works. So that's my low.
That's all his running backs. 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Damn.
Sorry.
Close us off for our quarterback lows.
My quarterback low is Marcus Mariota, 7.4 points. Cut the fuck.
I swear he's been the most consistent high and low player through 9 weeks.
It's crazy though.
It's crazy. You're going to go off this week now because that.
I'm let me pick a quarterback. Now, again, for the record, for the most part, I pick last. I would get the last pick of what's left. That's just the order we go in. Jake picks first, then Lau goes, and I.
Well,
I
it's
take
fun.
first.
I get like the obvious highs and lows. Lau gets like the second best, and then you have to like make your case on why 18.1 is low that week.
Well, listen, I chose the quarterback that didn't score 10 points, and so be it. It was Marcus Mariota again. So I think he threw 123 yards. Like, that was it. No touchdowns, no picks, but no touchdowns. And
and that's how it goes, man.
A very Mariota-esque stat line.
oh, it's exhausting.
It is. It's always exhausting.
Boppo, if you want to go on the podcast or you want to write us a letter, I don't know how you're going to get on here. You can write us a letter and just let us know you're frustrated with Mariota. We let you do it, bro. Sound out.
Sure.
Sound out. Anybody wants to come on the podcast and tell you a player that's on their team and how much it pisses them off that they suck, come on the show. We'll let you air out your grievances. Kyle Pitts. Okay.
It'll be like Festivus for anybody that comes on. They can come and air their grievances.
Festivus, a holiday for the rest of us. Listen, the highs and lows are done.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
I forgot the next segment.
Send off for that segment, huh?
Oh my God. Bold
I forgot the next segment.
Predictions that are bold. Like the candy bars and make them big. Bold Hershey. That's what we're doing. We're doing like a bold prediction.
Yeah, okay, fine. You know what? Fine. Let's do. Jump in. Jake, what are we doing?
Bold predictions of the week. Is that what they're called? Bold. I have a very simple bold prediction. It's hard to I feel like we stray away from sometimes from like bold, like not able to happen. But like
that seems a bit contradictory, a simple bold prediction.
Well, it's just like, yeah, because it's like not quite bold. It's more of like a foreshadow or I hope to happen. I had two, but I'll go with one that I leaned more towards. I think A.J. Dillon's going to outscore Najee Harris.
God damn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
My other one, which is tied in with Harris, was that he's going to be benched at halftime. But I don't want to, force someone to, take him out of his lineup or anything. Yeah, I think A.J. Dillon and his, average of 6 is going to outscore. He probably has outscored him already. That's why I don't think it's, bold. But I just think, the shit I talked about A.J. Dillon just now, for him to outscore Najee Harris, the first-round running back drafted. I mean,
I feel like during the highs and lows, we mentioned a bold prediction that I wanted to use, and now I forget what it was.
Loud also said a bold prediction tie-in. Are you guys in cahoots?
No collusion.
Would you tell us if you were?
No, I'm just giving myself early credit for getting my bold prediction.
Oh, that's what it was.
Again.
Yeah, you brought that up. Right. All right, Loud, take it away while Joey freezes. You're not freezing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Thinking. So, Loud, we can't have silence during this podcast.
Oh, I remember what it was. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
listen, if you don't like silence on the podcast, watch it on YouTube. Check it out. I am projecting bold that Mooney is going to have more points than Claypool. That's what it was. Mooney's going to have more points than Claypool.
All right, Loud, tell us.
My original bold prediction was Pollard was going to outscore Zeke, but I like Mooney over
it's
Claypool.
Pretty obvious at this point in their careers. All right.
I was Jake. You would have liked it. I know you missed it. You didn't do a bold prediction last week, but I did a 2-leg parlay. Did you hear about that?
No.
My bold prediction was a 2-leg parlay. I hit one of the legs. I just missed the second one.
Yeah.
I had Antonio Gibson scoring a touchdown and James Robinson outscoring Brian Robinson.
Nice. Take it to FanDuel.
So, hey man, 0.5 right on the bold predictions. 3.5 for the year.
All right, Loud, tell us who you think is going to outscore another person, because that's the theme of this week, clearly.
I'm not doing that. I'm going with a tight
Okay.
end going. I'm going with a tight end going for over 30
All right,
points.
well, that's bold, baby. Unless it's Dallas Goddard.
Would you like to be bold and say who it
Dallas
is?
Goddard. That's not bold, but give me some points. Kyle Pitts.
No, I would not.
Fair enough. All right. Well, listen.
No, hang on. Hang on a sec. I'll take a look. Give me one.
Don't do
sec.
it because you're going to lose your prediction that way. You're going to be able to nail it.
Yeah, just get the hype.
If you say Travis Kelce's going to have 30 points, that ain't bold.
It's true. You got to pick someone. Like, it's already bold to say someone's going to go over 30, and then you name a bottom 10 quarterback to do it. That's like, you really shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I'll take the prediction. Everybody, there's 12 of us in this league. One of us is going to have a 30-point tight end this week.
Let's go, Dallas Goddard.
Let's go. Who's going to do it?
It's gonna be a starter. There you go.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we're really getting there. Hey, listen, that wraps it up. Let's wrap it up.
It up.
It was good to have everybody back in the studio remotely. We are heading into week 10. Good luck. No injuries for anybody. Let's keep it clean.
That's upside down. Nicely done.
So long.
Shout out to Phillies, man. The Phillies made me happy. I'm so proud of them. Thank you, Bryce Harper. Thank you, Phillies. Thank you for Philadelphia for another Red October. But now we're going on to the Eagles Super Bowl, baby. Let's go, Birds!
Jake, you might have 2 almost made it's from Philly this year.
Yeah, their MLS soccer team almost made it too. 3.
All right, gotta go, guys.
Oh,
Be
3.
real.
They thought they had all this manure coming into the city, and then they didn't win the World Series. They had to ship it all back.
First city to ever lose 2 championships in one day. How about you highlight that the city had 2 championships in one day? Fuck you guys.
I
That shit
know.
hurt me. I'm
No
sad.
respect. Nobody respects them. Nobody respects the Eagles or anybody.
Eagles, baby. 8-0, all the way to
All right.
undefeated. So long. Go Birds.
So long.
Go Birds. Go
See ya.
Birds.